everyone, you've reached the Rock Off. It's time to clock in and rock out. I'm your host, Bill Smith.
And I'm Kevin Davis.
And this episode is going to be probably hands down the best we've ever done.
Well, we've done some great episodes. Once again, I think this is going to be a great episode. You be the judge. I don't know. Maybe the best we've ever done. Maybe not. I don't know. I think Bill, certainly partial. He got to meet one of his childhood heroes,
yes,
as well as musical heroes.
Yes.
And I'm not talking about Batman and Robin. No, we are talking about Blues Traveler.
Yes.
John Popper and Tad and Ben from the band. We were able to sit down and talk with them.
Awesome guys.
And be able to discuss what Blues Traveler's doing, what's coming up, what's going on.
This was a great interview for us because some of you may know this is the 20th anniversary of their landmark album 4, which featured their most popular songs, Run Around, Hook, The Mountains Win Again, sold over 6 million copies back then, which actually is saying a lot because nobody sells platinum anymore. But anyway, John Popper was always a hero of mine, and just to meet him, shake his hand, get to talk to him. Actually, I think we have a picture that we can throw up here.
Maybe here, or somewhere here. We'll figure it out.
It's somewhere
You'll
here.
See
there's
us with John Popper, as well as our crew member John,
our newest member, Mr. Nipples, we call him.
That's right.
And it was just such an honor to meet him. Like I said, for me, he was. There was a handful of people that if I get to meet, I would be like a 14-year-old girl, and according to these guys, I was. So, but it was an honor really to meet him and see the band. And what you hear on record is really what they deliver live. I mean, one of the tightest bands I've ever seen.
No, it was really cool. Also, something to consider. I don't even know if I should mention this, but what made it even an extra special evening as well is we know that John wasn't feeling real good that night. This was their third or fourth day of a 4 in a row,
and he broke his foot.
He had stepped in a huge pothole the night before in Detroit and rolled his ankle. So the guy wasn't feeling real hot, but I'll tell you what, honestly, wouldn't have been able to tell at all. And man, they just get up there and they just knock it out. And for a band, real tight, real good stuff.
Yeah, so, like I said, I think you're going to enjoy this interview. The interview is with Ben and Tad, but like I said, we did get a chance to meet John. We gave you the proof, and I think you're going to enjoy it.
we definitely think you'll enjoy it. Honestly. And I feel bad saying this, but I didn't know a lot about Ben and Tad going into the interview. But phenomenal guys.
Yeah,
I swear to God, I was completely blown away by number one, just how personable they were and how humble once again they are, and it's just really good stuff. Yeah, really good stuff.
Liked and followed us on Twitter and Facebook there,
right on the spot. Yeah.
And they've shared all our pictures on their Facebook, Twitter, all their website that we took with them that night at the Z-Plex in Streetsboro,
Ohio.
which
is really kind of a hidden gem as well. I've never been to the Z-Plex in Streetsboro.
Right.
Maybe some of you have, but really kind of a pretty cool concert spot, I got to tell you. Kind of brought back memories of a couple other concert spots that aren't around anymore. And so that was pretty cool as well.
But without any further ado, here is our interview with Ben and Tad of Blues Traveler. We'll be right back. All right, we are here backstage at the Z-Plex, and I am with a couple of the members of Blues Travelers. Guys, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourselves and what you do.
Probably two of the most important members of Blues Traveler.
Well,
bass player and keyboard player are, can you top that? When you think Blues Traveler, I think you think bass player and keyboard player.
You're the signature sound.
It is.
That's what people go to.
Well, I think so.
In addition, there's a harmonica player.
Yeah.
He's all right.
He's all right.
No relation, by the way.
Exactly.
I'm Ben Wilson. I'm the keyboard player.
Yeah, I'm Tad Kinchla. I am the bass player.
Awesome.
But you already knew that.
Yeah.
Yes. And your brother plays...
He plays guitar.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. So it's a whole family affair.
It is a somewhat of a family affair.
We consider ourselves honorary brothers.
Brothers from other mothers. Well, that's how it is in a band.
Yeah.
Not always.
Well, in good bands.
Yeah.
Right.
It starts that
in
way.
cohesive bands.
Yeah.
When you stay together 25 years, it starts that way, and then along the way, you don't always feel
You
like
become
brothers.
cousins.
It's like a marriage.
Then like second cousins.
Right.
And then like a dirty uncle.
Right.
And then
And the old drunken grandma in the corner.
Nice.
yeah.
So you guys are currently on tour. You're supporting Susie Cracks the Whip, that album. How is the tour going?
It's going great. It was kind of a little past the cycle for Susie, but it's our last album that we put out.
Your most recent.
Yes, exactly. It's been great. We kind of went on our own and did a little different thing this summer. As opposed to the summer before, we had a package, and it was kind of a little more bigger cities. And so this summer, we kind of spread out a little. And it was cool. We played a lot of different kind of
the Z-Plex
sheds. Yeah, we ended up in
the world famous,
right. Different areas.
Yeah.
So it was cool.
Awesome. Yeah. So, like you mentioned, Susie Cracks the Whip is your newest, not current, but to me, that album is really kind of a throwback to like maybe Save His Soul. I would say if I didn't know it was new, I'd put it kind of in that lineup. How people have been receiving it.
I thought it was very well received. In the climate these days, it's hard to, unless you're Beyonce or those kind of things, it's hard to make a huge splash. But we were super psyched with Sam Hollander, our producer. He was real good at reminding us, when you're on stage, it's a party.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you guys have been going into the studio lately, you've been slowing things down. And it's like, don't go halftime there. Speed it up.
Right.
It's got to be fun. And we had some outside writers. Sometimes John feels a little bit hemmed in when he's got if I bring in a piece of music that doesn't immediately speak to him. The way that the band works is he tries to write to it. And he said, every once in a while that just feels, I don't feel it. So it was nice to be able to kind of not necessarily farm out, but have outside guys come in and help us sort of with those sorts of things. And then John would sort of mold those lyrics that they wrote to kind of work for him in a way that worked. And and then the overall vibe was it was one of those records where you go in and it was just easy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way I felt about it.
Yeah. No, it was, you kind of.
And I think you can hear that in the record.
Like I said, I longtime fan, and this album is a return to like the Blues Traveler I know and love.
Oh, okay,
cool.
So why do you say that out of curiosity? What was it about the record that made you say that?
Well, like I said, the first album I heard from you guys was Save His Soul. Conquer Me was actually the first tune I ever heard, and like after that, a lot like Bastardos and some of the other stuff. I kind of
too outside your liking range.
Yeah, it wasn't what I but I heard this, I'm like, yes, they're back. So
cool.
And like even John's solo stuff, like the project album he did was kind of out there, but I still dug it. But so with this guys, I think this new album, I think you guys are more back in the pocket. So
fair enough. Now
the one thing I got to ask you guys is Force 20th anniversary is next year.
We are aware of that.
Yes. As I'm sure you are. Well, what's going on with that? What kind of? I mean, are you going to re-release, repackage it? What kind of you tour? What can What's the big deal? I mean, how are you going to celebrate it? Yes.
We're hoping to celebrate it in all of its glory in a variety of ways, some of which are still being worked out.
Yes, we're, I think, going to, reinvigorate some of the songs. I think we might do some collaborative stuff with some people that we don't know yet, but we have some ideas. And I think we'll re-release it.
A remaster of some sort.
Yeah, remaster.
Bonus tracks. And all that.
Yeah.
Cool. If there are any.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's something.
So we just asked everyone to buy it again. That's all we're...
Right.
No.
Maybe if we hit it off, you guys would complimentary sending one. So
maybe.
I think so.
Oh,
yeah, let's
awesome.
see.
That is a definite maybe.
It's going good so far. No, I think we're definitely going to angle towards, kind of promoting for this coming year.
Yeah.
And, hopefully, things go well with that.
I'm sure it will. I mean, that album is a seminal album of the 90s.
Agreed.
And it's just...
And I can say that because I actually didn't play on it, so I'm not blowing my own horn here. I'm just
that kind of
agreeing with
works
you.
nicely to my next question, which you guys weren't around when that was created. So
we were alive, though.
Well, I mean, you weren't, connected officially in the band.
Insignificant at the time.
That's true. You were significant. You were being a name.
Well, you were.
That's right.
First Chance Kids.
I was. Yes.
Well, how do you guys step into the role of performing these songs that already has such like a rich history and a legacy? You know, how do you guys feel about stepping into?
Oh God, please don't let me fuck it up. I just don't want to fuck it up.
Well, Paul Schaefer played keys on that album, so
He did a pretty good job of it too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there. It was. You know,
a lot more pressure on Tad than it was on me.
The initial step into the band was definitely a different,
Much bigger
very,
for him.
you know, because it was. We all had relationships with Bobby, myself included. Like I knew him from back in Princeton. I actually grew up with the guys.
He gave you some basses.
Yeah, he ruined some of my amps.
as all good friends do.
As all good friends, yeah. So and yeah, he actually, you know, when I first tried out, it was the first show back in New York that everyone had gotten back together. So it was like, you know, this cathartic experience mixed with, you know, me trying out kind of tangentially. It was like that was happening as well as everyone going through this process.
Grieving process. And
that was really the hardest thing that I've ever done with the band. And, you know, and then it you know, it kind of gelled after that, and they were like, well, you know, I happened to still be playing, and I was playing, you know, a different style, and basically said, I can't recreate what Bobby was doing. You know, I'd like to step in doing what I'm doing. And they were like, you know, I think it's a good fit.
Cool.
And then we came down and pretty much unanimously wanted Ben before he even tried out, but he didn't know that.
I did it.
So, so he came down.
So you're playing hard to get.
He sweated bullets a little bit.
No, they were playing hard to get.
Yeah, I was playing easy to get.
Yeah, we had some other. We had.
I was loose. I was a loose caboose, baby.
But, yeah, but it was. Yeah, it was. You know, but when we came in, I think we both had the attitude. They kind of threw it out there. I think it was kind of the same thing. John was in this state where any ideas you guys have, kind of bring our way. And from the get go, it was like, if you have some songs here, you know, bring it in. And it really helped to start in the band with like, hey, like give us some songs and we'll play them.
Right.
And that's a cool way of starting a band.
Right. Well, that's a difficult position for anyone to be in, you know, obviously. So let me ask you guys a question. There was a Rush documentary that came out a couple years ago, and Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson were talking about how Neil Peart's always the new guy. He's been in the band like almost 40 years, but he's always. Do you guys get that too?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I mean, 70 years from now, if we're still alive, you know, the new guys.
The new guys, right? That's awesome. So, all right, we are here at the world famous Z-Plex with Ben and Tad from Blues Traveler. We'll be right back.
Down to Cleveland, he was looking for a soul to steal. He was in a bind because he was way behind and he was willing to make a deal. Well, he come across this young boy sitting on a fiddle and playing it hot. And the devil jumped on Hickory song and said, boy, let me tell you what. In case you didn't know it, I'm a fiddle player too. And if you care to take a dare, I'd make a bet with you. Well, y'all pretty good old son, but won't you give the devil his due? I got a fiddle of gold against your soul because I think I'm better than you. Well, the boy said, my name's Johnny and it might be a sin, but I'll take your bet, you're gonna regret because I'm the best there's ever been. Johnny, rosin up your bow and play your fiddle hard, cause I'll broke loose in Georgia and the devil deals cards. And if you win, you get the shiny fiddle made of gold, but if you lose, the devil gets his soul. Opened up his case and he said, I'll start the show, and fired through his fingertips as he's rosin up his bow. And he pulled that bow across the strings and made it go, yes! And the band of demons all joined in and it sounded just like this. Johnny said, well, you're pretty good, old son, but you sit right back in that chair right there. Let me show you how it's done. You better fire the mountain, run, boys, run. Death in the house and the rising sun. Chicken and bread pan digging out dough. Painted off by no chavo. Devil bowed his head because he knew that he could be. And he laid that golden fiddle on the ground at Johnny's feet. And Johnny said, hey, come on out if you ever want to try again. So I told you once, you son of a bitch, I'm the best there's ever been. They fire in the mountain, run, boys, run. Down in the house in the rising sun. Chicken the bread pat picking out dough. Crazy dog by no child, no.
We are back with Ben and Tad from Blues Traveler backstage here at world famous Z-Plex. So let me ask you guys a question. When are Blues Traveler going to make an authentic blues album? I mean, I know you guys dabble from time to time, but I'm talking like an old school gut bucket, like how Clapton did From the Cradle.
I don't know if I see that happening. I don't know if I see that happening.
Because I, as a fan, would love that. You know, that would be awesome.
John loves all those old blues guys.
Yeah.
And but he was pretty determined early on that he wanted it to sound different.
Okay.
And he was, not in a bad way, but just like, he just felt like that is everybody and their brother is trying to sound like Little Walter. And he wanted to change that up. So, it's funny, too, because he could just rip it, and he's such a great singer.
Right.
So, I mean, I guess it could happen.
Well, you guys dabble, like Carolina Blues, or Maybe I'm Wrong, stuff like that. But, I mean, as a fan, I think it would just be awesome just to hear, or Mountain Cry, even. I mean, you guys, the later half of that. And that would be, like, I think, really satisfying. As a fan to hear that.
I think the closest we can come is maybe putting together like 3 blues structured songs and releasing them kind of on the internet or in a separate like package. Yeah. We aren't a blues band. No. Our roots are not, I think Ben's the closest to a blues player.
We all grew up listening to like blues rock, but we were taking it from there and going forward. We weren't taking it from there and then trying to go back and emulate what was going on before.
Oh, right. What I'm saying? Yeah. Well, no, and it's nothing. It's just, the blues is like a form of music that is constant through the years.
Yes.
It is. And even as everything
evolves. And we rip off it. Like, I mean, our music is definitely influenced by it because all rock is.
Right, yeah. It'd just be cool maybe give a nod to,
Sure.
So maybe put that in the back burner.
Yeah, you guys are maybe an old
The Rock Office has spoken.
Maybe doing a couple, old covers and doing them our style would be
I said, like Clapton did with From the Cradle, something like that. Like get it out of your system.
He seems to have. I don't know if it's in his system. That's what I mean. It's in Clapton's system.
Well,
I'm not sure it's in John's system.
Well, maybe I don't know. I would hope he is. But speaking of John, and obviously he's not here right now. So
isn't he?
No, I am not. John.
Let's talk some.
That was John.
One thing is that's so signature to the band is harmonica playing. And maybe, I don't know, can you guys comment on maybe how he developed?
Thank God.
Right. Yeah. Well, maybe, did he sell his soul to the devil? Or, I mean, how did he get that, to come up with that sound? Because I've been playing for about 15, 20 years, and I can't do that at all.
Well, I mean, I think most of John's playing style, he was kind of reclusive in a little way growing up.
Okay.
He kind of felt like he was on the outside of the cool group.
Okay.
And I think he spent, like, lots of time just playing harmonica when he first found it as an instrument because he failed at a couple other instruments first, which is pretty funny. And he latched onto it. And I think he started getting attention because of it. And he was like, wow, this thing's great, And I think he spent a lot of time just kind of developing without really a structure or someone like a teacher in that respect.
Well, it's hard to find a harmonica teacher.
But then, I remember he used to work at this gas station and, he had his little thing and he'd, finish doing it and he'd go, delete, and he always had one. And I think he, just played all the time and kind of, I think, developed his certain style, just kind of playing without a structure and stuff. And then he joined like some jazz bands in high school. But by that time, he had already kind of had this voice that was a little, quirky or a little outside of the norm.
Right.
He's not necessarily a jazz harmonica player.
Right.
But he's not a blues guy either. So
he described to me, he picked up the harmonica and it right away, it was pretty easy for him.
Okay.
And so, whether that was,
that's extremely frustrating to hear, like from someone like me to hear that.
Whether he's playing hot cross buns, I don't know. He wasn't doing the John Papa runs.
Yeah.
The thing about John is, it's amazed me when I came into the band just how incredibly musical he is. Because he can, we do a couple of things where it's just one thing really where it's just piano and vocals.
Okay.
And just to give you an example is you're going through the usual structure, but sometimes I'll throw in a little strange voicing. The man will immediately change what he's doing and react to it and do some kind of new melody.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I just remember, it's incredible that there's no thought to it. It's just what has always amazed me about John, and I think this can come through in his piano, in his harmonica playing. Is it just if it comes in, it's out. There's no process.
Okay.
Like for me, it's like
instinctual.
Yeah. Sometimes I get it, but it's very instinctual. It's like I don't think you can explain how somebody can have that level of talent.
That's amazing.
It's explainable.
That's
amazing.
And
it's
certainly
also
have to work at it.
Yeah,
right.
But it's true too. Like in the way he plays guitar, like he plays guitar kind of the way he thinks about harmonica.
Yeah.
He plays with like two fingers, and kind of goes up and down and hits the notes he wants to hit. He doesn't think of it like a regular guitar player would think of the guitar. When you see him play, you're like, how's he? And it sounds like John when he plays a guitar, and it's the same thing. It's weird. That's
amazing.
Yeah.
I actually, after I really started getting into Blues Traveler, I quit playing harmonica for like 3 years, and I picked up the guitar because I'm like, there's no way I can ever achieve this level. So I quit.
How many people?
Yeah, there's no one.
Right. Well, that's
everyone has.
Well, I picked it up.
Person.
I said
25 people like that.
I said, Little Walter's better anyway. So. Kind of just to wrap this thing up with you guys, I know next year, the big celebration of 4, but what can fans expect after that? Maybe the new album tour. What are we thinking here? Are you allowed to divulge anything?
Yeah, we're gonna definitely follow it up with a new album.
Okay.
I think that's our plan.
Okay.
Work kind of 4's anniversary is coming up next year with a bunch of stuff, and then we're gonna go into kind of a new record project.
Awesome.
And we don't know what that has in store for us. We don't totally have the stuff down yet, but that's
we were thinking some kind of chanting record.
Gregorian.
Well, I don't know if we go Gregorian, more new agey, kind of some Nia dance, if you know what that is.
Yeah.
We're
we're working our dance steps out.
But kind of a new age way. We don't want to be like all the hip kids. We want to do it our own way.
Go your own way.
Yeah.
Well, good luck with that.
Just like
whatever doesn't
Max
sell.
said.
Whatever doesn't sell.
Whatever doesn't sell.
Whatever the fewest
Watch it be
people
the
are
biggest,
interested in.
the biggest hit of your career.
Yeah.
Hey, that's the hipster way.
Right.
Yeah.
Where are some websites, Facebook, Twitter? What would you like to plug? The fans can get in touch with you guys at?
We have a Facebook page. We have a website, but I think our Facebook page is probably the best place to support us.
Okay.
And then we have a Twitter as well. So
Very good.
We're out there. We're slowly
Blues Traveler whatever, or
it's Blues Traveler's Facebook.
Okay.
And then it's Blues_Traveler because some asshole out there actually has Blues Traveler on Twitter.
Of course,
I'm sure he's a great guy. If at any point you want to give us the Blues Traveler name, that would be great. But in the meantime, enjoy it.
And if that's the case, then forget what we said about you being an asshole.
Probably a great guy. Great guy.
Nice.
Yeah. And
well, maybe sweeten the pot with like a signed CD or something.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll give you $2.50 and a signed pick and one harmonica.
Awesome.
Booyah!
There it is. All right, guys. Listen, thank you so much for being on the show. We are big fans. Appreciate
Thanks for
everything
having
you
us.
guys. You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello,
I'm looking
Cleveland.
forward to the show tonight. We'll be right back.
There's a funny farm that has your name written all over it.
All right, that was our interview with Ben and Tad of Blues Traveler. Great guys. It was such a pleasure to meet them, get to sit and pick their brain, talk with them, and also get to see them play, do what they do. And they are top-notch musicians. still on top of their game 20 years after their landmark album was released, for which they, told us are going to be a special edition of this year. So be on the lookout for that. I'm excited to see what kind of bonus things they're going to throw in with that package.
Yeah, and continue to support us at rockoffice.com. We've got merchandise available as Bill's wearing there, and check out some of those shirts. We've got some stickers out there. All of those proceeds go directly towards this here. We're not feeding our baby mamas with it or anything like that. I mean, it's going directly towards what we are able to bring to you guys. And this isn't cheap, but with that being said, we enjoy doing it, and we hope to be able to continue to do it for you. And so we certainly appreciate it.
Yeah. Also, make sure you support your local record store by buying the physical copy of music instead of the digital download. We'll see you next time. Take care. God bless.